Good evening and welcome to the 7 o'clock news from the Sultan of Oman Television. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq sends a cable of condolences to President of Egypt on the death of Field Marshal Mohammed Hussein Tantawi. On behalf of His Majesty Sultan, His Highness Said Fatih bin Fahd Al Saeed receives Ambassador of Ethiopia to bid farewell at the end of her mission. At a cost of $2.6 billion, Jebel Khuf project starts its production, estimated to be 5 million cubic meters of gas per day and 20,000 barrels of crude oil. And the Ministry of Health reports zero deaths of COVID-19 for the fourth consecutive day. Those are the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq has sent a cable of condolences to His Excellency Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, President of Egypt, on the death of Field Marshal Mohammed Hussein Tantawi, a former Minister of Defense and Military Production and General Commander of the Armed Forces. His Majesty the Sultan received a cable of thanks from His Excellency Qasim Jomart Tokayev, President of Kazakhstan, in reply to a cable of condolences sent by His Majesty the Sultan to him on the victims of the explosion of the ammunition depot at the city of Jambil. On behalf of His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq, His Highness Said Fatih bin Fahd Al Saeed received in his office High Excellency Dr. Ayrorit Mohammed Yassin, Ambassador of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, to the Sultan to bid farewell at the end of her tour of duty. The ambassador expressed her thanks to His Majesty the Sultan for the support extended to her from His Majesty the government and the Omani people, which facilitated carrying out her assignments. The ambassador also wished His Majesty a good health and long life, and also wished the Omani people further progress and growth under the wise leadership of His Majesty the Sultan. His Highness Said Fatih expressed his utmost thanks for the ambassador's efforts exerted to serve the relations between the Sultanate and Ethiopia, and wished the ambassador success in her future duty. He also wished the Ethiopian people further progress and prosperity. Petroleum Development Oman PDO Jebel Khuf project YKP started production, marking a key milestone for the landmark facility. The installation's first sour wells were opened earlier this month, introducing sour oil to the YKP Central Processing Facility, and the project has already started exporting crude oil to the main oil line. The plant's capacity will be ramped up for the coming months. Spanning an area of 1,682 square kilometers, YKP is the second largest and most technically accomplished project in PDO's history, with COVID-19 adding another layer of complexity over the past 2 years of construction and commissioning activities. YKP is of a high strategic value towards meeting Oman's growth, medium and long-term oil gas demands, as well as reducing PDO's net non-associated gas imports. The mega project will be delivered when fully operational, 5 million cubic meters of gas per day, and around the project cost amounted to $2.6 billion. The public prosecution issued a statement about what was monitored on social media platforms of the increase in the frequency of abusive writings, sensational rumors, and publications of news that includes attributing criminal acts to individuals and institutions. The public prosecution confirms that publishing such news with the intent of stirring up public opinion or for the purpose of spreading rumors is a crime punishable by imprisonment of up to 3 years and a fine of 3,000 Omani riyals. As publishing such news on social media is not considered a method of reporting which may affect investigation procedures. The public prosecution also asserts that it will take all appropriate legal actions against anyone who commits such writings and rumors or promotes insights or assists them in any way in accordance with the prevailing laws and regulations. The Ministry of Health reported 0 deaths for the 4th consecutive day, with 31 new COVID-19 cases and 397 recoveries. The Ministry also reported that the total number of COVID-19 cases registered in Sultanate reached 303,490, while the total number of deaths reached 4,093. The total recovered cases reached 294,354. The Ministry indicated that the total number of inpatients reached 49, of which 21 are in intensive care units. Injaz Oman announced the names of the winning companies in his 10th student company program and competition. The event was presided over by His Highness Said Fatih bin Fahr Al Said. More details in the following report.
Feelings of excitement, suspense, and anxiety preceded the moment of announcing the names of the winning companies in the 10th edition of the Injaz Oman Student Company Program and Competition.
We had a very successful end to the season with our main program, a 6-month program that teaches students all the skills that is needed by the private sector. It is taught also by the private sector. We're happy in Injaz Oman. It's been a very successful year. Despite all the difficulties we've had, we've transformed a lot of our curricula to electronic form, and we managed overall to train more than 40,000 students from various colleges, universities, schools.
In the colleges and universities category, the award for the best student company in the Sultanate for 2021 went to T2G Company. Thara Company won the award for the best innovative product, and Cordia Motive Company won the award for the best sustainable product, while Boone Company grabbed the Elevator Pitch Award, which saw an innovative demonstration of their idea in just 90 seconds.
We are so happy to announce that we are the winner of the company competition 2021. We can't believe it's still like a dream. We are trying to just realize the reality, and it is not a dream. We work so hard for this. We work for about like 1.5 years, and we think that we deserve this prize so much. And I really can't explain my feelings and my express right now. So happy and so blessed. I thank everyone, my students, my colleges, also all the supervisors that stand with us in all this journey.
Injaz Oman is a big step for us. We feel very happy to win this award. We want to do after Injaz Oman many work. We want to produce our products. And in the end, I want to say thank you, Injaz Oman.
In the schools category, Hirfa Company won the award for the best student company. Ajwan Company won the award for the best sustainable product, and Purex Company won the award for the best innovative product. Besides establishing themselves as winners of the best student company with their novel entrepreneurial venture, the proud members of the T2G Company will also represent Oman at the Injaz Al Arab Regional Competition. Saleh Bakhalfan Al-Rahbi, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
To come a news bulletin. Oman Air resumes flights between Muscat and London starting from tomorrow. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. Canadians gave Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's Liberal Party a victory in yesterday's parliamentary elections, but his gamble to win a majority of seats failed and nearly mirrored the result of 2 years ago. The Liberals won the most seats of any party. The 49-year-old Trudeau channeled the star power of his father, the Liberal icon and late Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau, when he first won election in 2015 and has led his party to the top finish in 2 elections since. Trudeau's Liberals were leading or elected in 156 seats, one less than they won 2019 and 14 short of the 170 needed for a majority in the House of Commons. The Conservatives were leading or elected in 121 seats, the same number they won in 2019. Canada is now among the most fully vaccinated countries in the world, and Trudeau's government spent hundreds of billions of dollars to prop up the economy amid lockdowns. Police say today that 44 people were arrested as hundreds of demonstrations marched in the streets of Australia's second largest city in protest against mandatory coronavirus vaccine rules in the construction industry. The protest in Melbourne was aimed at a Victoria state government mandate requiring all construction workers to get vaccinated. The Channel 7 reporter was hit with a can of energy drink while reporting on air and claimed that he was earlier pushed around as he reported on the protest. The march came a day after riot police were called in to disperse about 500 protesters who smashed the doors at the offices of Construction, Forestry, Maritime, Mining and Energy Union, which represents construction workers. Last night, the state government announced that the construction industry would be shut down from today for 2 weeks in metropolitan Melbourne and some regional areas. Several small earthquakes shook the Spanish island of La Palma off northwest Africa, keeping nerves on edge as rivers of lava continue to flow towards the sea today, and the new vent blew open on the mountainside. After moving downhill across the island's countryside since Sunday's eruption, the lava is gradually closing in on the more densely populated coastline. Some 6,000 people on La Palma have been evacuated so far, and 183 houses damaged. The new vent is 300 meters north of the Cumbre Vieja Ridge, where the volcano first erupted. After a week of thousands of small earthquakes, the so-called earthquake swarm gave authorities warning that the eruption was likely and allowed many people to be evacuated, avoiding casualties. La Palma, with a population of some 85,000 people, is part of volcanic Canary Islands. On stoppable rivers of lava, as much as 6 meters high, roll down hillsides, burning and crushing everything in their path. The volcano has been spewing out between 8,000 and 10,500 tons of sulfur dioxide a day. And finally, Oman Air, the national carrier of Oman, will resume flights between Muscat and London Heathrow starting from tomorrow, the 22nd of September. In this regard, Oman Air will maintain its comprehensive safety program throughout all elements of the journey to ensure that guests fly confidently. Masks are required when guests are on board the aircraft and in Oman's airports. Oman Air stated that guests who are planning to travel to Muscat should visit the Civil Aviation Authority website to ensure they are prepared to comply with the requirements to enter the Sultanate. It added that guests traveling to the UK should ensure they are aware of official requirements to enter or transit through the country. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq sends cable of condolences to President of Egypt on the death of Field Marshal Mohammed Hussein Tantawi. On behalf of His Majesty the Sultan, His Highness Said Fatih bin Fahd Al Said receives Ambassador of Ethiopia to bid farewell at the end of her mission. At a cost of $2.6 billion, Jibal Khuf project starts its production, estimated to be 5 million cubic meters of gas per day and 20,000 barrels of crude oil. And the Ministry of Health reports 0 death of COVID-19 for the fourth consecutive day, fourth day in a row. And with that, we've come to the end of tonight's news bulletin from Bulletin newsroom and the studios. Stay safe. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.